Hello, everyone. You read the title of the video, so I'm going to jump right into it. But before we start, um, hi, how are you? Kunimitsu877. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Hi, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So we're going to do a fun video today and not do one where I complain about stuff for an hour. We are going to be talking about the cast of season 4 of Dragula. So, for those who are unaware of what Dragula is, it is a drag-based reality TV show that has heavy horror themes about it. You know, its main gimmick is horror, filth, and glamour. Make things that are horror-based, filthy, and turn it glamorous, turn it fashion. Think similar to Camp Wanakiki or Drag Race, except, more into the horror field. So, with that being said, expect a lot of gore on this show, expect a lot of, twisted things. But if you're a horror fan, this will be a wet dream. So, with that being said, let's go straight into the cast. I'm pretty much going to say what my thoughts are on the promo look. And after I go through each of the promos, I will pretty much just say what my thoughts are on each queen after I am done with the promos. And I will say how far I anticipate them going upon first impressions. Keep in mind that this is first impressions. First impressions are never perfect impressions. So if I end up wrong on any of these placements, I will be happy to be wrong. I love to be proven wrong. This is just a first impression. So nobody take offense to this. It's just me having fun, doing something that I enjoy doing, and we're going to go straight into what I think of the Dragula season 4 cast. So, with that being said, first up, we have Astrid Aurelia. I cannot pronounce your last name, but I will put any of the queens, I will put the names in the description of the video. But Astrid Aurelia, upon first impressions, and just going off of the promo, I'm not going to lie, it's not my favorite promo in the world. The look is really simple. But not a bad look by any means. And I think Astrud Aurelia is definitely going to be an interesting one. I looked through their Instagram a little bit earlier. They seem to have like a really interesting style. I'm curious to see what they'll do on the show, but I guess we'll see when the show comes out on Shudder, of course. And yes, I do plan to review the episodes as well. So moving on, next up is Bitter Betty. Now, Bitter Betty, you should know this if you are in the drag community, hell, even just the drag race community, you should know who Bitter Betty is. Formerly known as Sarah Andrews, this one is going to be a very interesting one to see on the show. This one is... let's start with the positives first. Very good trans representation. We can always use more of that. Her style is very interesting. It's in the aspect that her style is not, it's kind of like evolved into an entirely new thing. And I kind of like where it's evolved. So it's going to be interesting to see her 50s style on the show. Because again, we've seen the 50s style fashion do well on the show. Look at Louisiana Purchase from season 3. She slayed that runway. So with that being said, Bitter Betty, looking at the promo look, I'm not going to lie, it's not my favorite look in the world, but I like the details. If this was a toot and boot system, this would definitely be a toot. It's still a good look. It still captures what she's supposed to be doing. I 100% get super villain off of this look, and I like that aspect. I love the makeup. I love that big poofy hair that she has. The actual bodysuit, even though it's a bodysuit, is very detailed. I love the little chains that she has onto it. I love how it shapes her body. I can't quite tell if that is a breastplate or her actual breasts, but they go very nicely with the look. The boots are killer. She looks good. Bitter Betty, you look good. Makeup, always a 10. Always a 10. No matter what, no matter how you look at it, Bitter Betty always has good makeup. So, with that being said, Bitter Betty, I have high hopes for you on the show. I will say what my thoughts are after we get through the rest of the promos. So, moving on. Next up, we have. I hope I'm pronouncing this one right. Hoso Terra Toma. I believe that's how you say it. And if I'm incorrect, please don't be ashamed to correct me in the comments. It is deeply appreciated. Keep in mind, I don't have exact pronunciations for every name in the cast, as we have not seen the Meet the Monsters yet. But going off of Hoso's look, very good. I did some research on her. She gets heavy inspiration from yokai, which already a plus right there. That's a fascinating thing. And I think this look is actually quite nice. It is a bit simple, I'm not going to lie, but it's a good simple. It's nice. It shapes her nicely. It looks really good. Her makeup is very well done. Kind of, if I were to compare it to someone, kind of giving me a horror vibes. Not horror, Abhora. There you go. The one from season 2. Kind of gives me a little bit of her vibes. And I kind of like that. I like that. I think the faces on the boobs was a really nice touch. And just overall good. Like, it was a good look. Next up is the returning queen from, you guessed it, the Resurrection Special, formerly known as Saint Lucia. I don't remember how to say it, but formerly known as Saint Lucia on give me a second, I'll remember her season. On an earlier season. She now goes by Saint the Unholy. First off, let me say this. One of my friends pointed this out to me, and I kind of have to agree. Saint the Unholy's look is very well put together. Let me start with that before I say what my friend told me. Because the cast reveal happened around the same time as the cast reveal for Drag Race UK Season 3, which I'll be getting into that cast reveal soon. I just haven't had much time. But Saint the Unholy definitely, the promo look definitely looks like a darker version of Vanity Milan from UK Season 3. It looks like they could be polar opposite twins. One is the nice twin, one is the evil twin. It looks really good. But the actual look, stunning. Hair is beautiful. Makeup is a huge improvement from her previous season. The outfit, while it is a bit on the simple side, it's the simple side that works. The armor pieces are nice. The cape is nice. The boots are nice. Like, it looks good. I really don't have any critiques. to give on Saint's look. It looks amazing. Like, really, no critiques. So, with that being said, next up is Sigourney Beaver, I believe is how you say the name. First things first, props to the Boulet brothers for using more representation for cisgendered women on the show. Congrats on that. With that being said, looking at the look itself is not bad. I don't think it's a bad look by any stretch of the imagination. I just think compared to the rest of the cast, it's a little bit on the simple side. Kind of something that's a little, I don't know, my personal opinion, just looking at what everybody else delivered and then looking at this, it's like, oh, this is kind of simple. This is kind of boring. Like this is like what the Boulet brothers wear on a daily basis. I don't think it's a bad look. I just don't think it's the most exciting look I've ever seen. It's, I guess if I had to give I'll give positives and I'll say the negatives. The positives, I actually think the wig looks really nice. I think the wig shapes her head very, very nicely. I actually do like the color of the dress, and it does do what it's supposed to do as far as shape goes. But there's not much else going on. That's where it ends. It's not so much that the look is bad. It's just there's not much going on. It's not that exciting of a look. I look forward to seeing what she could do on the show because, hello, Hollow Eve blew my mind on season 3. So I'm expecting Sigourney to do the same. But if we're going off of just first impressions and just looking at the look, I can't really say I'm that impressed by what I see. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I'm not that impressed by what I see so far. Even looking through the Instagram, it looks like she does a lot of the same looks. Yeah, not a fan of the makeup either. It just, I don't know, something off about the way the eyeshadow looks. It just looks like it could have been blended just a smidge bit better, but otherwise, not a bad look. I would place that one like directly in the middle. Next up, Merrie Cherry. Now, I do want to specify this. I do know who Merrie Cherry is. I've been following them for quite some time, so as you can imagine, I was quite happy when they were on the show. So, Merrie Cherry, with that being said, I can definitely tell what you were casted to be. You are definitely going to be the comedy queen this season, which is actually kind of refreshing because although, yes, we see comedy queens often on Drag Race or especially Camp Wanakiki, we don't really see them that often on Dragula. In fact, Camp is not really common on Dragula. So, and the few times it does show up, it's usually from queens that don't last that long. So, Merrie Cherry, with that being said, I do expect you to wow me in the comedy department 100%. But I gotta say, girl, this promo look. I love you, sis. This promo look is a mess. This promo look looks like it came straight out of season 1 of Drag Race. It's, like I really don't have much positive to say. The makeup, beautiful. The hair, beautiful. But then we get to the actual garment. It's just stretch fabric wrapped around your body. And the shoes don't even match the stretch fabric. I want to be wowed by you, though, because I do want a campy queen to succeed on Dragula. They rarely ever do. And I feel like the last time we had a campy queen do well on Dracula was Meatball on season 1. Seasons 2 and 3 didn't do so good in that department. With that being said, I don't particularly like this promo look. I'm just going to be honest. It's really simple. It's kind of boring. And I have to say, as much as I love Merrie Cherry, it is the weakest. It is the weakest of the promos. I want to be blown away by what she does on the show, though. That's where I'm going to keep my eye on. So, Merrie Cherry, I love you, girl. And please prove me wrong. Please do. With that being said, next up we have Zavaleta. I don't know how to say the name properly. I'll know how to say it properly when I actually hear it said out loud. But Zavaleta, I have the same problem as I do with Merrie Cherry. This is a very simple look. And this also looks like early Drag Race promo. Like, this look looks like if I placed it in the Drag Race season 2 promo, specifically the one where they all have the black outfits, I wouldn't even be able to tell. Like, it looks like it came straight out of Drag Race season 2's promo. And it's just it's just a simple look. I love what you deliver on your Instagram, though. I've seen what you deliver. It's nice. I want more. Just looking at the promo, though, I'm not particularly fond of this promo. I'm just going to be real honest. It's just a really simple outfit. And it's just, there's not much going on. There's not much going on. I guess if I had to give a positive, the glasses look nice. But the look itself is giving me very Rebecca Glasscock in episode 1 of season 1 of Drag Race. Yeah, not my favorite look, but I do expect a lot from you. So, let's see who's next on the list. We have there we go. There we go. Now it loaded. Next up, we have Coco Caine. Coco Caine, you look stunning, darling. I love the shape of your body. It looks really nice. I will say it is a bit on the simple side, but I like the look. I think it looks good for what you're trying to go for. It's definitely a step outside of your usual box because I've been paying attention on your Instagram. I definitely think it's going to be a fascinating look to see. It's not my favorite look in the world, but I could see this appealing to many people. And for what it is, it looks good. My only real critique, other than the simplicity, is the breastplate. I don't know if it's the Photoshop, the angle, or just whatever. It just looks, the breastplate looks off. Like, just something off about the breastplate. Like, it does not go with the outfit. And the corset looks a bit like it's not quite fitting you properly. Again, it could just be the angle in the picture because sometimes that happens. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad look. I think it looks fine. And we'll see where you go. We'll see where this goes. But the look itself is fine. So next up we have, let's see who's next. Oh, here we go. Next up we have Jade Jolie. Now, Jade Jolie, if any of you know who she is, she was prior to coming onto this season of Dragula, she was a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race on season 5. If I recall correctly, because it has been a while since I watched that season, I believe she went about halfway in that season. With that being said, and just looking at this promo look, I'm not going to lie. Jade, this is a very simple look, but given the assignment that you were meant to do, I will give you credit for stepping outside the box compared to everyone else in the promo. Almost everyone else in the promo wore either red, or black, and you came on the promo in full white. So you already stand out looking at it that way. Your makeup looks good as always. I do think, although it's a simple bodysuit, I think the suit looks good. I like the little belt that you have. The little details that you have around your hips are very, very well done. Like, those look like really good props. The boots look good. Hair always looks good. Makeup always looks good. Yeah, so definitely, I will say this, it is a huge step up compared to what you had on Drag Race. It should be, especially considering how many years it's been. Like, I see the evolution just by looking at this look. It is gorgeous. So, last contestant on the list, and this one's my favorite one. My favorite contestant so far, definitely has the best promo, in my opinion, is Formelda Hyde. Where do I even start? First off, the apron, very nicely detailed. Those boots, get me a pair of those boots because they look nice. Those nails, the nails literally being syringes. Yes. The fuck, I can't tell if you have a mask on or you're just really good at makeup, but the face looks so good. Like, this looks like it came out of an actual horror film. This one is definitely a standout. This one is definitely one I'm looking forward to. And this is definitely something that I feel is going to wow me. That's the one I'm going to be looking for on the show. That is, just looking at it off of just promos, that's my front runner. That's the one that has the most impressive promo to me. And I can't wait to see what she does. Let's see. So I believe that's all of the ones that have been shown so far. I've heard from some people that there was one other contestant, but I couldn't find an image for it. So that one's just a maybe at the moment. So we'll come back to that one if that ever ends up happening. But my honest thoughts on where I think each of them are going to place, how I think they're going to do on the show, just looking at the promos. Keep in mind, before I continue and say where I think each of them are going to place, how they're going to be on the season, keep in mind, this is a first impression. A first impression. They are never perfect impressions. I will 99% guarantee you that all of these things are going to be horribly wrong by the time the show comes out. This is just what I think is going to happen based on only pictures, just the promo, nothing else. So with that being said, let's start with where I think each of them are going to place. I'm going to start with Astrid. I think that's how you say the name. Like I said, if I say any of these names wrong, feel free to correct me. Astrid Aurelia, I honestly, just looking at the promo and just looking at the Instagram, I feel just looking at this, Astrid is going to be the first to go. Just being honest, looking at what she has to offer, I just don't think she's going to go very far on the show. I'd love to be proven wrong. I always enjoy being proven wrong. But looking at just the promos, I don't think she's going to make it very far. If she doesn't go home the first episode, she's definitely, in my opinion, going to be a very early out. I just don't see her going very far. Bitter Betty is a bit of a wild card for me, but I will say what I think. I definitely feel Bitter Betty will not be an early out. I feel Bitter Betty will definitely make it at least the halfway point. And I'm just going to say it right now, especially because they have one every season. Dragula is no different from Drag Race in this aspect, in the aspect that there's always a villain. There's always a villain edit given to any of the contestants. Dragula is no different from this. The only difference is Dragula handles its racist fans better than its drag Race does. So with that being said, Bitter Betty, I 100% believe, is getting the villain edit. So let me explain what I mean by this. I do not mean that she is going to actively be a villain on the show. I do not actively mean that she's going to be villainous on the show. What I mean is, I feel she will get a very similar edit to what Hollow Eve got on season 3 of Dragula, where I feel Betty is going to be, especially looking at how she acts online, she yells a lot. And usually yelling, once you do that on any reality show, that's always going to be twisted and turned into a villain edit easily. So with that being said, I think Bitter Betty will be the villain. 100%, especially because I do know Betty. I've known her for years and she has a very fiery temper. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out on the show. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how Betty is going to interact with Jade, especially because, you know, Betty's been arch enemies with RuPaul for years. So seeing one of RuPaul's girls there, I'm sure that's going to set some things off in her. And I feel she's going to get a villain edit. Just no questions asked. She's getting a villain edit. Where I think she will place, I think about halfway. I don't anticipate her going all the way to the end, but I'd love to be proven wrong. So next one is Merrie Cherry. Merrie Cherry is a bit of a wild card. And the reason I say this is because Campy Queens on Dragula have relatively very mixed track records. On season 1, the only Campy Queen that was there was Meatball, and she made it top 4. On season 2, the only Campy Queen we had was the first to go. On season 3, again, only Campy Queen we had, first to go. So I'm really hoping that Merrie Cherry breaks that curse. I'm hoping she does well. I'm hoping she goes to the end. So I feel she's going to have one of two options. Either she's going to be a very early out, or she's going to be the dark horse in the competition and blow everybody away. I'm going to place Jade in this area too, because I feel Jade Jolie is going to get a mixed edit as well. Jade has 3 possible edits I could see her getting. I could see her also getting a villain edit, but I could also see her getting that type of edit where she could be the underdog edit. So I feel Jade is going to be similar case with Cherry. I think she's either going to be a very early out, or she's going to make it all the way to the end and surprise everyone. So Merrie and Jade are in the same area. Now to my girl, Formelda. Formelda Hyde, I think like I said, I gave you all that praise earlier. I think you will do amazing. I think you will do amazing on the show. My only real worry is I think it's called a mask queen. The type of queens slash kings that perform wearing masks. Think like Monique Shame from season 2 or Yovska from season 3. I feel Formelda is going to have a very similar run to both Monique and Yovska, but I also feel that there's a huge possibility she can break that curse amongst the masking queens. I think she will do really good. I have a feeling that she's kind of a wild card. She could either really fuck it up like the other masking queens did, or she could really step it up and make it pretty fucking far. Do I think she will win? Probably not. As much as I would love her to win, I don't think it's going to happen. I just feel it's going to be one of those two situations. That's what I feel. I definitely think we're going to get good looks from her, though, because that's the one that has wow makeup. Hoso is a hard one to nail where I think she will place, but I feel Hoso will get a very similar run to Loris and Erica Clash. I feel that will be the type of run Hoso will have. I feel that her aesthetic will probably not be understood very well by the judging panel, and I feel she will probably have to be forced to jump outside of the box like they do with the other contestants. With that being said, I expect good looks from her. I don't know if the judges are going to necessarily read those looks. That's what I think. Let me see. Coco Cane, that's a hard one to judge. I think Coco Cane will do a very good on the show. I think she will do very good on the show. Just looking at the Instagram, seeing what she's capable with her in her makeup, I feel if she doesn't make it top 3, she's at least guaranteed top 4. That's what I feel. I feel just looking at what she could do on her Instagram, I feel she will go very far in this competition. She's definitely going to be one to look out for. Saint, the Unholy, I feel is, again, a wild card. You are a returning queen, and Saint has had a lot of time to grow since her original season. But my problem with Saint is it's really hard to tell how they're going to do it. Either they're going to push her to the end because she is the returning queen, or she's going to blow us all away and make it to the end fair and square. I feel those are two scenarios that are possible, because this is just what a lot of reality shows do. They always bring back the returning queens, and usually they push them to the end. It happens. I want to be proven wrong, but just looking at first impressions, that's what I feel is going to happen with Saint. Let's see. I'm trying to remember, who did I leave out? Zavaleta, I think I've already said. No, Zavaleta, I think will probably be. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna put Zavaleta and Sigourney in the same category. I feel both of these are going to be very early outs. Just looking at what they have on their Instagram, what they're giving in the promo, I just feel that neither one of them are going to step up to the challenge, and I feel neither one of them are going to are going to necessarily impress the judges the way the rest of them are. I'd love to be proven wrong. I would love for them to blow me out of the water and make me jaw drop. I want that. But judging off of just first impressions, I feel Sigourney is going to be either the first or second to go. I feel she's most likely going to be second or third. That's what I feel. First, I feel is Astrid. Second or third is going to be either Zavaleta or Sigourney. I believe fourth. Oh, that one's a hard one. I would say Hoso for fourth. Fifth to go, I feel will probably most likely be Betty. Just because she gives off that energy, and I feel she's going to get a very similar run to Hollow Eve. I feel I really can't answer who I think would go after that because I feel every other queen that's on the season is kind of like giving me the same vibe. So it's like really hard to tell. But if I had to pick a sixth place, I'm probably going to say Merrie. Just because, again, she's a wild card. Seventh place, not seventh place, seventh out. This is hard. I would say at that point they'd probably get rid of Saint. And I feel right after Saint, the supposed other contestant that people keep telling me is in there is going to go right after her. Yeah. This is a hard one. I feel Jade will make it at least top four. At least top four. Would love to be proven wrong with all of these. But so far, just looking at what we have, what is being shown, these are my thoughts on Dragula Season 4. Oh, I didn't even talk about the Boulets promo. The Boulet Brothers promos look good. Like, it's the same black and red thing they wear for almost every promo, but it looks good. So with that being said, these have been my thoughts on Dragula Season 4. I would love to be proven wrong. I look forward to being proven wrong, and I look forward to this season. For those of you who are unaware, this season of Dragula will be on Shudder, Shudder, Shudder. You can get it on the App Store. You just need a monthly subscription, and you will have free access to that and many other horror-based things. So with that being said, this is Kunimitsu 877 signing out. Hope you had a wonderful time and cannot wait for the season. Bye-bye.